pretty cold here.
You're in Mumbai, right?
Nope, I'm in Bangalore.
Okay, okay. Nice.
You're in?
I'm in Dehradun.
Oh, nice, nice. Is it raining there? How is the weather?
It is not raining there. It hasn't rained since last 2 or 3 days, so it is relatively hot now. But yeah, it rained like a
Mm-hmm.
week ago or something.
Nice. Has Urvashi joined? Okay, Urvashi joining.
Yeah. Hello everyone in the VC. We'll be starting off in a couple of minutes, just waiting for Urvashi to join in. We appreciate your patience. In the meantime, you can invite your friends and family members who wish to join the event.
Also,
Okay.
guys, not sure, but a lot of people shared their Twitter yesterday and before that. So if you're here, you can just inform us in the chat. We'll start reviewing your profile when we start the Q&A. So yeah, and if anyone is still interested in getting the profile reviewed of Twitter, they can drop their link of profile in the chat if that works. And what would be the appropriate chat, Anmol? The main chat that
The
work?
event chat right above this
Okay,
stage channel.
okay, event chat works. Even chat me, you can drop your profiles. So we'll review towards the end. Yeah, that's it. Hi, Urvashi.
Hey Urvashi, welcome.
Hey, hey, give me some time to figure out Discord.
Sure. Take your time.
What's up, Dube? What's up, Meena? When are we
I
starting?
Hi. How's your health? You okay?
Oh,
Better?
perfect. Perfect.
Nice. Do this working.
Uh,
Nice.
okay, I think we should start.
Uh, Maybe we can wait till 18:05 since I see a lot of people are still joining in.
A lot of people are joining. Like,
this is the
right.
first
So
time
where
I'm
is the
seeing
event
कि
chat?
इतना
Yeah, a lot of people. How can we get to the event chat? Where is that?
I'll ping you, Mitesh, in the event chat, so you can just see your pings in
Okay.
the.
Works.
Uh,
I
Yes,
can
yes.
see some
I'm
files already.
nice. Make sure
Will
you're there. So yeah, we'll preview their profiles. There are one, two, three, four. Okay, three profiles already. Nice. Are you guys using a bot to record this? The crack bot?
yes.
Nice. Do you upload it or like save karte ho? Where is it saved?
It is saved in my local disk, but sometimes if I get time, then I upload it on YouTube.
Oh, nice. So yeah, if you guys save it, someone just share a link. So maybe we can refer it. Key what can be improved for the future.
Sure. I'll share the local link anyways.
Yes.
Perfect. So quite a lot of people have joined in, and I believe as and when we go ahead, more and more people will keep joining us. So we can get started. Meena, Mitesh, and Urvashi.
Yeah, I think we can start whenever you're ready, guys. Meena, Urvashi.
yep, good to go from my end.
Urvashi. Urvashi is still figuring out unmute कैसे करते हैं. But she's I don't know, using Discord after it long. Mute कर दिया. Urvashi over there.
Okay.
Urvashi left. No worries.
Urvashi joined again. She's there.
can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
I was speaking and nobody was hearing.
Okay. Are you
Let's
on your phone or in your PC?
no phone, bro. PC पे भी आ सकते क्या? I
Phone.
didn't know.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Good. Never mind. Moving on. So yeah, guys. Giving a little context. We three are very active on Twitter. Now also on LinkedIn, and Urvashi is active on Instagram too. She's a video creator. What we do is, once we became active on Twitter, we sort of understood how important it is to have active profile, to post consistently, and to have some distribution of any sort. So not for just collaborations and brand deals, but also for recognizing and reaching out to us, and having that reach really helps for getting opportunities, whether you are a freelancer, a creator, or just a student who is looking for internship. So we figured out Twitter is easy for everyone to start with, and figured ki we should help more people get active on Twitter. And when we talk about Twitter, generally people have a what do you say, negative look at Twitter ki Twitter to bahut faltu hai, it's all political or it's all very trendy, it's very shit. So probably after this session you will have a different approach towards Twitter, and you can optimize your profiles and leverage Twitter to the fullest as a student or as a freelancer or as a creator, or if you're a founder, so as a founder also. So that's what you will understand throughout this session: what to do on Twitter, what to post, how to create content or how to curate content for that, and what not to post, hashtags use करने हैं कि नहीं, how to get followers, DM कैसे करना है, cold DMing strategies, everything. Basically A to Z for Twitter. So yeah, I think I covered everything, Meena and Urvashi. If you guys are ready, we can start.
I think something is up with Urvashi's connection.
Okay, no worries.
She just left.
When
Let's
she's
just
back, we'll
wait for
start.
1 minute. If she joins and good to go, we'll continue.
Can you?
Mhm.
Urvashi, try joining on your PC.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Meena, you
stay
can
on
say
the phone
what is
and try
personal
joining.
branding?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why
So
on?
we'll just start up. So the whole point is personal branding on Twitter, and let's start with what personal branding is. To explain it to a 5-year-old kid, I would try to put it out what your parents usually or your relatives usually put it out, right? That it's all your social status, it's your entire image in front of the world and everything. And I hate to say it, but it's true even in terms of the online world, or even in the Gen Z world. And personal branding is basically your entire image, social image and everything in terms of online world. It's just that maybe people won't know you offline what you're doing and everything, but online you have to create your image strong enough, especially after the pandemic, that people, before even thinking of meeting you or working with you, they'll start looking up your social profile, so they just Google your name. So you have to keep in mind that if you want to be known for something good enough, or whatever you're doing in whichever niche you are in, you have to work on your personal brand. So it's overall, it's just your status, your brand image, and everything. Okay, it's your samaj ki izzat wala thing, everything. That's how I would put it out. And yeah, what personal branding is, or how you build a personal brand, is usually that you do things related to your niche. For example, I'm into SEO, and lately, I've also been into Twitter growth and LinkedIn growth, where I help my clients build their personal brand from scratch on these two platforms. So, how would you build your personal brand? It's just that you talk about things you want to be known for. I've said this a lot of times. I've said it on Twitter Spaces as well. I'll say it here as well. That you talk about what you want to be known for, and you talk about what you want work for, if that is your goal. Let's say you're a freelancer, or let's say you're someone who wants internship, or let's say you are someone who wants to be known for graphic designing. Talk about graphic designing a lot. You put out your graphics out, or your work, proof of work a lot, and everything. So that's what personal branding is for a layman. Is there anything you guys would like to add, or
I think it covered. I mean, yeah, the basic idea is clear that, like you said, like तुम्हारी पहचान क्या है? What do people you like? What do people hear your name? What do they think about? Let's say when people talk about Meena, she's like, oh, she's a SEO person. So why do they talk about SEO? Because she has posting around SEO a lot. She talks about SEO. She writes threads on SEO. So again, what you have to be known for, not in the room. What do people talk about? At least in the online world, so Meena is doing this, Urvashi is doing this. So how do you get to that level is basically by posting content on the network you want to be known for. SEO ho gaya, it could be anything. Coding, it could be your projects, or it could be, let's say, internships. So anything you want to be known for, you just start talking about it. And yeah, I think yeah, it's pretty much clear. Urvashi, you're ready? Can you
Yep.
go ahead?
I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, you guys. Clear, clear.
Yes, Meena covered everything, and it's not just about thinking कि this can be my brand, or I need to because I want job. That's why I need to create personal brand. Doesn't matter. You, even if you don't have any reason, just stay active on Twitter, build a personal brand. You have no clue how many opportunities you can get. I have got so many of opportunities. I'm working with people who are from Twitter. One of them is Mitesh. So yeah, anytime definitely you can get opportunities. So personal branding is very, very important. Now let's talk why Twitter and why not Instagram or LinkedIn or other platforms.
So, Urvashi, since you are a video creator, why don't you tell us the difference between Instagram and Twitter ka growth and the amount of effort it takes, and how is it different? And let's say you're a beginner, what do you choose, Twitter or Instagram?
Okay. Uh, if I'm a complete beginner, I would still choose Twitter because number first, it's very easy to create content on Twitter. You don't have to get ready. You don't need any setup to start posting content on Twitter. You don't need a lot of reach or anything. You can always reach out to people in DMs. You can always start tweeting. You can always start writing threads. It's very, very easy on Twitter than Instagram. Since I am also creating videos on Instagram, I know how difficult it is, because again, you have to be consistent. You have to wake up every day, record videos, edit them, then post. And again, algorithm of Instagram, I think winning the algorithm of Instagram is really difficult in my opinion than Twitter, because it's pretty much easy to understand Twitter algorithm, how keywords work, how you can connect with people. And also, one thing that I've realized and seen, Instagram pay people don't really care about your content a lot. You cannot get a very genuine audience on Twitter, sorry, on Instagram, especially if you're creating reels. People will come watch your 15-second reel. Like, okay, there's a chance that the audience you have, the followers you have, will not even watch that 15-second or 30-second reel completely. They will watch 5 second, 10 second, they will scroll. So you don't really create a very genuine audience on Instagram, in my opinion. Since I'm creating a lot of videos there, I know people are not, I don't have an engaging audience on Instagram, but on Twitter I have a very engaging audience. I know people, what my followers do. My followers know me personally. They have spoken to me in DMs. So I think Twitter is better than Instagram if you want to start out. So you can also see that if you really want to create content on social media, go on Twitter, see, connect with people, connect with more video creators, see how they create videos, what's their process, and then shift to Instagram, because that's exactly what I did, and it has helped me a lot. My Twitter audience is also my Instagram audience, so yeah, that helps.
Makes sense. And not only your Twitter audience is your Instagram audience, is also the podcast audience. So since we have a podcast, what we do is whenever we upload the podcast, we post about it on Twitter also. So people from Twitter actually go to the podcast and watch it. And we saw the analytics of the YouTube, and we saw there was this 1 month where 70% of the audience was coming from Twitter to watch the podcast, which is like a big deal for a YouTube podcast. Basically, 70% of people who are on Twitter are going to the podcast by just clicking the link on the Twitter post. And so, if you have a podcast, or let's say you have a service offering, or you want to promote your Instagram for that matter, you can use your Twitter to promote other stuff you have. Maybe you have a bookstore you want to talk about, or maybe you have a that gifting store that you gift people a lot. So you can use Twitter to build the extra distribution you want for promoting your other stuff. It could be Instagram, YouTube, or some other service you have. So yeah, I think Twitter, if even if you're active on other platforms, you can add on Twitter to the list, because its ROI is very easy. As Urvashi said, no setup required, no getting ready every day. You just have to tweet consistently for a few months. That's it. So ROI wise, you get very good organic reach versus Instagram and LinkedIn. So yeah, that's why we are whenever someone is not active on any platform, we suggest he start with Twitter first and dire go on Instagram and LinkedIn. We are not saying we stop everything and just focus on Twitter. But overall, over time, obviously, you have to focus on more distribution channels. YouTube bhi ho sakta hai, one of them. But the easiest one is to start with Twitter, even if you're a student. So yeah, that with that, we'll go to the real sauce, that how to, ये सब तो हो गया, but how to actually build a distribution, build that personal brand, and be known for the stuff you want to. And this is basically how to leverage Twitter. So with that, I want to give the mic to Meena, and she will tell you what to tweet and how to tweet it. Yeah, Meena, over to you.
Okay, so tweeting is actually very, niche down. It's a very detailed thing. A lot of people think that, so what, it's just 280 characters. Anybody can do that. But then turns out it's not just 280 characters, because sometimes those 280 characters are too less, and you have to use that space in a very beautiful way where people know that, oh, this person stands for this, and oh, this person is talking about this particular thing. And I don't know why a lot of people, a lot of times I have seen that people, this is a mistake a lot of new accounts do usually, that they just tweet a lot, and they are just like, they think that just tweeting a lot is enough, and will suffice for the entire Twitter growth, and it will make you reach 10k followers, 50k followers, and all that stuff. That's not true. Again, it also differs from niches to niches or person to person. I'm not saying that just tweeting won't get you followers or something like that. I've worked with founders where we haven't engaged on their account and we've just tweeted, and based on the content strategy and everything else, their account has grown very well, where they've grown to like 0 to 1,000 followers in just 2 weeks. So it's not just that. But don't, a lot of people, just they just tweet. And if you're a new account with no brand image, no background image of anything, nobody knows you, the first thing you do is you engage with other people. I think a lot of, so Twitter ke bare mein na, people think that tweeting is first and engagement is second, and the rest of the things like Twitter, tweeting, engaging, DMs, and that's the order. But I feel if you're a new account, or if for, to be very honest, if you're anybody, engaging is the first step, and then comes tweeting, and then comes DMs, spaces, and all that stuff. So this is personally my order that I prefer. And when I say engagement, I don't mean that you go and drop comments on somebody's tweets that, oh, that's a great thread, and oh, nice, congratulations. Type something meaningful. If you like the thread, go ahead, good, like it, but also add your value, that what is the point that you liked in the thread, or add another additional point. Let's say a thread has 8 points, you can add more, 2 points or 1 point at least, that this is something that I've learned, and this is something that can be useful for the other people reading this thread. So that's how you add value. Talking about what to tweet, it's a very context based. I'll take an example of a freelancer, since I'm a freelancer and it's very easy for me to tell it in that way. Let's say you're a freelancer and let's say you're into graphic designing. And now what to tweet is basically you talk about proof of work, you talk about it. Again, depends on what kind of audience you want to attract. Do you want to attract other freelancers, or do you want to attract clients? In case you want to attract clients, you have to always make sure that you're talking about how you can leverage the websites, and how you can improve your graphics, and how get designing help and all that stuff. And apart from that, you have to put out your proof of work. Sometimes I understand it's NDA and all that stuff, so you can't do it. But again, you can remove the names and you can talk to the other party, and you can come to a base where you can put out your proof of work hiding their names. So that is something you can do. And the reason why I stress more on proof of work is because end of the day, people really care about results and what you bring to the table. So you put out your proof of work and you skip the whole cold DMing, the whole prospecting drama, sab kuch. You just skip let's say a prospect lands your page, your profile, and then they see that, oh, this person has tweeted about his proof of work in graphic designing. The next step the prospect does is he slides into your DMs and he says that, oh, I would like to have something similar for my website, or I would like to do something similar with you and all that stuff. Let's discuss the rates, or let's hop on a call. You're skipping so many process in the step that you're skipping the first call, second call, you're skipping the proposal part and all that stuff. So that is for a freelancer per se. If you want to attract a client, let's say you want to build a community of other freelancers in the same niche, where you can have a healthy chat with them on a daily basis, and you can pass down your work from here to there, you can collaborate on new projects and all that stuff. Then you have to talk about other freelancing tips, or what are other freelancers, or you can talk about your journey, how you grew as a freelancer, or where did you start from and all that stuff. And end of the day, the whole point is that a human connects to a human. So that is the reason why personal touch, giving a personal touch to anything that is coming from you matters a lot. So you can talk about your journey, that I was doing so and so, and that's how I came into graphic designing, and let me know your stories or something like that. So that's how you attract freelancers in the same niche, and other freelancers as well in the same thing. And let's say you're a student who is looking for an internship. Okay, I'll just give you a small tweet that I did when I initially joined Twitter. I think this was one of my third or fourth tweet, and I just cribbed about how I didn't get paid internships. And the tweet was very generic that, you know, I hate how I am not getting paid internships and everyone is just paying, giving me a lot of work with unpaid things. And I remember that tweet had got like 500 replies, I'm pretty sure. And that one single tweet landed me so many gigs at that time, internship, because that time I was looking for internships. And I'm not kidding, you can leverage Twitter to the fullest. Just be smart enough, just don't shit around and all that stuff. And yeah, so if you're someone who is looking for internship, you can always reach out to people. Another thing is that a lot of founders and recruiters and everyone are really active on Twitter and LinkedIn these days. Twitter being more specific, because as I've worked with a lot of startups and I've seen how they are focusing on Twitter than LinkedIn. So a lot of people are active on Twitter more than LinkedIn or any other platform. So you can always reach out to them in their DMs that, hey, I came across this job posting on your website. I would like to apply for it. And you just drop your resume or whatsoever proof of work or whatsoever you have, instead of skipping instead of asking them to send your resume and all that stuff, right? They just skip all that. So you can just slide into people's DM. You can even tweet about it, and I'm pretty sure people on Twitter are so helpful that someone will refer you some work anywhere. Because I've seen a lot of times where people crib about these things, that they're not getting gigs, they're not getting full-time roles or anything, and immediately within a day, not even 24 hours, they get like amazing offers, job opportunities, and everything. So yeah, this is on that side. Let's say you're a podcaster or you want to promote your newsletter or podcast or anything, any of your media or other social channels, you talk about, you just so I have a friend who runs a newsletter, and every week before he issues a new newsletter, he just gives a small glimpse of what he's doing. Sometimes it's on the pen and paper that, you know, today I'm writing about this, or the third edition will be of this. And sometimes it's about he'll give a small glimpse after the published newspaper that, did you read this newsletter? And a lot of people go back to reading it. And podcast, really, I've seen Mitesh and the whole CIBH team do the promotion on Twitter, that, you know, they talk about a particular topic, they ask questions around it, and then they drop a link to that. So you can do a lot of things. So I think that covers the whole tweeting part on what to tweet from all niches. Is there anything you guys would like to add?
I think yeah, you covered most of the things. One to add is the formatting of the tweets. A lot of times people just write paragraphs and paragraphs, which is something I don't like. And it's not just me not liking it. People generally don't like reading paragraphs on Twitter. So what you should do is basically use the space. Like, you know, after 2 3 lines, if the context is changing, or if there is some uh, gap to fill, just enter the space button and, you know, give some space for the text. So maybe drop a 1 line ka space or 2 line ka space on Twitter, so it looks easier to read. And as you know, people don't like reading long form. Like most people on Twitter don't like reading long form. But if you format it in a smart way, you can actually write good threads also in long form. The only problem is format acha karna padega. So the formatting, the main issue is don't write paragraphs like 5 6 lines together. If you have written 6 lines, after writing, just go on the full stop and just enter space anywhere, and give that space to the text. It looks better, it's easier to read. People will scheme a lot, but at least people will read the tweet. And normally agar paragraph likhoge, people will just skip, half the people just skip the tweet. So that is something I would just like to add. Baki, I think Meena covered most of the things. Coming to this important points, one is the, should we have a good profile, and what type of profile should you have, and should you tweet generally? So if you would take up this profile picture and when to tweet.
Okay. So, when to tweet is a very common question that most people have, especially beginners, that when we should tweet that we get the maximum engagement. I personally say that there is no right time to tweet. You can never predict that this is the right time to tweet. This is the time that will work on Twitter. If anybody is saying that XYZ time is the best time to post on Twitter, please don't believe them, because there isn't a right time to tweet. See, I have myself tweeted some things which are like at 4 in the morning, and they are like viral tweets. So there is no right time to tweet. Depends on your audience. You have to figure out for yourself that what is the right time for me. How you can do it, experiment a lot. Just tweet, one day you tweet at 11 a.m. something, you tweet at 11 a.m. something, sometimes you're tweeting at evening, sometimes you're tweeting at late night. So you need to understand that when my audience is active, what is the time that my audience is very active. For now, I know that I don't tweet in afternoons, because I know that this is the time that my tweets doesn't work on Twitter. So no matter what, I never tweet in afternoons. This is something I have figured out after looking at analytics, after experimenting a lot with the timings. So always you can just go start tweeting out and don't retweet your tweets. A lot of people do that they tweet at certain time and then after another certain time they retweet their own tweet. If you're a new account, retweeting your own tweets doesn't work. It only works for accounts who have 20, 30K people who have audiences from different sides of world. So time zone का differences रहता है, that is why they retweet their own tweets. But if you're a new account, don't do it. It looks very weird. One tweet of yours come up two times on the profile. It's very weird. Don't do that. And coming to the profile picture, uh, I would personally tell everybody to please put your own picture as as a profile picture on Twitter. Don't go for animated ones or NFTs or anything unless you are an NFT account, of course. But don't go with them because I personally feel credibility is very, very important on Twitter. You should go as a person on Twitter and not as a profile. So I say this a lot. A Twitter account should not be a Twitter profile, but it should be a person. If I'm seeing Dube's profile, I should know Mitesh Dube is a guy who talks about this, who looks like this. Okay. So, in my opinion, you should always put your own profile picture, something that is where your face is also visible. Don't go with profile pictures where I can't see your face or anything. It's very subjective, but still. Also, it depends. Okay, so somebody DMs me with a profile picture of, let's say, Iron Man, and then somebody comes up with their own picture. Chances are high that the person who has his own picture as his profile picture will get a reply than Iron Man. So, yeah, it's sort of important to optimize your profile and keeping your own picture as DP. Again, it's a choice, but don't put your picture in header. Okay, don't do that if you have a
Yeah,
goal
Urvashi,
very
I like how the tables have turned.
I just wanted
Okay, so
to
the
add.
thing is,
हाँ बोलो तुम सब लोग एक ही साथ बोलो.
the, the thing is, every mistake that I tell people to not do are the mistakes I have done already, which is why I tell
Everyone has
people that
grown
don't
up.
do this mistake. This is a mistake. Don't do this. So मेरे मेरे बैनर में भी मेरा ही पिक्चर था, इसीलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ अपना पिक्चर नहीं लगाना.
I was like, I just wanted to add one point to the part where you spoke about posting timing. It again depends on the type of audience you want to focus. Let's say you want to target the international clients, and let's say you want to target the international people. You have to make sure कि what is the time they are coming active around, and that is the time you have to post around. This matters even for a new account. And let's say your audience is somewhere India, let's say you want to start out from India and everything, so you can post around the same time, morning में शाम को whenever you want, because Indians are very वेले वो पूरे टाइम ट्विटर पे घूमते रहते हैं. So yeah, you can post whenever you want. But let's say you're targeting international people and in specific time zone and everything, you have to make sure that you're posting according to their time zone and according to the time likely that they might open their Twitter. Let's say India mein usually what happens is people, let's say it's a shit post account, or let's say it's a chilled account that doesn't really care about the gyan and all that stuff, and let's say it's just a chill account who wants to come and engage with other people's posts and all that stuff. And usually these kinds of people, including other people who are here for work and all that stuff, they usually come to Twitter after the work is done, or to get a chill vibe and all that stuff. They usually, it's basically your reel section that you keep scrolling ऐसे फालतू में वो वाला type का scene है. So you have to make sure if you have to keep in mind that your or target audience time zone is what you're tweeting around. That's it.
Yep.
Mhm. And in profile picture only one thing is, a lot of people think कि इनको एकदम प्रोफेशनल फोटो चाहिए, जो सब लोग बोलते हैं ना, have a clean photo, photo shoot कराओ. I just feel कि whatever profile picture you have, whether it's a normal picture of yourself or a Iron Man, obviously have a personal picture because that's better. Even if you have a Iron Man, make sure you don't change it every now and then. This is something really matters because most people won't remember your username or your name. Most people will look you as a DP wala post. That image is there in your mind. So whenever you post, that image is registered in their mind and not your name. So if you change your DP every now and then, people will not relate to you because they will like, oh, नया person आ गया. I don't know इसको follow कब किया था. So I have seen this personally happen on my account, other people's account. So if you have a profile picture, it's decent. If it's clear, it's okay. Don't need to have a different picture every now and then. Just make sure that picture is consistent for at least a few months or a year. And if you want to change it maybe in the future, maybe एक साल में एक बार कर लेना, but not more than that, at least on Twitter. Baki or other platforms you can change now and then, but I will still prefer that you don't change your profile picture every now and then. And anything else we want to cover in how to leverage Twitter, Meena and
I
Urvashi?
just want to add something on the DP part, that one of the things I've seen with Mitesh is something, and this is something I really fancy about him, is that his profile picture is the same everywhere: his WhatsApp, his email, his Instagram, Twitter, everything. So, and this DP has helped him get other people from. So, right now you see is that his name is Lucifer here, right? People have DM'd him because of this DP, other platforms as well, regardless of them remembering his name or not. They don't care. Your profile picture is basically your logo, so don't change it every now and then. Let's say you want to change it, make sure that you have a visible face jahan pe it doesn't matter itna ke you have a straight face or something whatsoever you want. Just make sure your face is visible enough so that in future if you're changing it, again people recognize you by your face. Don't please go around posting a full body picture pura dur khade ho fancy jagah pe. Don't do that because people can't see your face there. The whole point is people knowing you, right? So make sure your face is clearly visible, and don't change it every now and then because people tend to forget it. So that's all I wanted to add. Next thing, sorry, I think I went on mute. Next thing, we discussed about DMs. We discussed about what to tweet. I just want to discuss about. No, we didn't discuss about DMs. I just want to discuss about DMs.
We will cover DMs. We'll cover DMs. If you want to start, you can start with DMs.
No, you can go
कि
ahead.
क्या DM करना चाहिए?
You can go ahead.
Okay. DMs is basically your untouched gold mine. So a lot of people, they care about tweet kya karna hai, engagement, they optimize their profile, everything they do right. The problem is they don't go to the DM section, and that is something I want you to go. You want, even if you're starting out, just start DMing people every day. Try to DM every one new person every day and make that connection, make that network. And why is it important? Because DMs is first one thing you're sure ki no matter how many followers do you have, if you send a DM to me, it will reach to me. No matter what, how many followers do you have or I have, it will go in my request section max, but still it will reach to me. So if you just start DMing people a lot, people who check their DMs will actually read your DMs, and that is part versus you tweeting out something. If you tweet, let's say some Urvashi tweets something, but she's not known to me, I don't follow her. There is no way that from the day one she will reach my trending page or she will reach my timeline. But let's say Urvashi on day one DMs me, 100% DM land होगा मेरे DMs में. So DM is not based on algorithm, not on your followers. So why don't you use it to leverage and to make a network? So when you start out, just start DMing people. What I used to do is whenever someone followed me, I would just randomly drop a DM to them. Obviously, I made a template out of it. It was somewhat like, hey Urvashi, thanks for following me. I saw your bio that you're into video. Can you tell me what do you create? What type of videos you create? And this is what I do. If there is anything I can help you with, let me know. Thanks for following. Have a nice day. This is a normal DM card template. You can copy paste it and just change the name and the context every time you DM someone new. That's it. So make a template card DM and DM one person every day. Let's say you DM 30 people in one month. That's around 300 people in a year. Imagine having a network of 300 people in a year, and you by the way, you're still growing on the other side with following and distribution. So no matter what happens to your following, your DMs are always growing, and that is where you create the actual connections. You will know more about a person. If they are nice enough to talk, you can probably ask them to give their number or call them on a Gmeet, and you can talk about, let's say, freelancing or podcasting, or if they're a founder, you can talk about their product and services, because founders love DMs is something everyone should start from day one. I थोड़ा लेट हो गया था start करने में, but I still was figured out कि कैसे DM करना है. So that is something everyone should start from day one. Like today, when you have a Twitter account, you have no following anything, it's fine. Just start DMing people. The benefit of tweeting and DMing is, so the problem with DMs is, let's say you DM me, right? I will still check your profile. Ki what is this person up to? So if you have a dead profile and no optimization, I won't reply generally. So that is where the optimization part helps you to actually get a reply to that DM. और everyone tells कि DM कैसे करना है, but उसका context नहीं बताते और कब करें वो नहीं बताते. So your profile should be optimized so people actually consider you कि this is not a bot account or this is not a spam account. And trust me, most people are like they're scared of opening DMs, especially girls. They don't like opening DMs कि कुछ फालतू चीज भेज दी होगी, or maybe it may be a dick pic or something. and they generally think, oh, this is a weird DM, I want weird profile, I won't open the DM only. So you have to make sure that people are not afraid to open a DM, or even if they open their DM, their profile is sort of natural. It's not giving some bad vibe or giving some this is not a good profile, I should not reply to it. So make sure that your profile is optimized so people actually reply to the DM. Coming to what to DM. Let's say you want to reach out to Urvashi for a collaboration on YouTube. Ki Urvashi, I want to collaborate on YouTube. So you go to her profile, you see what is she tweeting currently. You read her bio, ki is she doing currently, active kahan par hai, and you make sure that that DM is personalized to Urvashi and not a cold DM ka template. So you say, hey Urvashi, I saw your profile. I really like the content you post on Twitter and on YouTube. I saw this video of yours, and I like the way you made this thumbnail, or I like the way you said in this video at fourth minute. So you're personalizing this DM, and you're actually telling the person कि मैंने time spent किया है on the content before DMing you. It's not a random DM. And towards the end, you give your ask. You know, this is what my ask is. Yeah, I want to collaborate with you for a YouTube video of mine. If this sounds interesting to you, let me know. That's it. So you basically stalk the person before DMing them, and you have enough context about DMing. कि DMing का reason क्या होता है. If you just want to chill out and chat, then probably you should DM कि हाँ it's a networking DM. So hey, I saw your profile. I really like the content. I'm also in the same niche. So if you love to talk about let's say price your services, let's get on a call someday. Happy to be something like that. So even if you don't have anything, at least tell the person कि मेरे पास कुछ ask नहीं है. So a lot of people, what they see is कि they just tell कि hi, how are you. This DMS has no context. There is no ask, and there is no personalization. It's like hi, how are you? That's it. It's a bad DM. So make sure your DM is context based, and your profile is all to some extent like optimized. So people reply to your DMs, and uh, in start में you may not get a lot of replies, but make sure that the replies you get उनको तुम थोड़ा cold DM से like warm DM तक लेके जाओ. Basically the point is you make friends out of your DMs. You make people know कि I'm this person and I could be a good person to be friends with. Maybe you can get a client out of your that DM or something like that. So make sure that the reply you get, you make sure you reply to that also. And just don't forget about it कि मेरे को मितेश ने बोला 30 को डीएम करना है, 30 को डीएम करूंगा, उसके बाद कुछ नहीं करना मेरे को. No, make sure that you reply to the replies also, and build that connection slowly and steadily. That's what I would suggest. मैंने भी try किया था, it worked really well. बाकी Urvashi and Meena, anything on the DM part you want to add? What to DM and how to DM?
Not anything specific, but the whole part where you engage with the other person's content before you DM them, even if it's for a generic question or anything specific or anything general, or even let's say you like the person a lot, you like their personality a lot, and you just want to know them or you want to be friends with them. Just make sure you engage with their content beforehand for a week or two, and then go into their DMs. Don't just bluntly slide into the DMs, because the very first thing happens is that let's say you engage with my content every on a daily basis, or at least every now and then, or in some 2 to 3 days or something like that. I tend to see, okay, oh, this guy is engaging a lot with my DMs a lot, and I tend to check your profile out, and next time when you send me a DM, I'm more likely to reply to you. So this is something that I really wanted to point out and mention. So yeah, Urvashi, is there anything you want to add?
I was trying to add something but मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी I guess तुम लोगों को.
नहीं नहीं, I just saw you that you left. उसके बाद नहीं दिखा.
So yeah, you can add. You can add now, Urvashi, if you're here. I guess she's not. Okay, she's not. We'll wait for her to come back.
Hello, I'm back. I just wanted to say what not to DM, if I can start with that. Like that this is something you should never go and DM to people. Can anyone come
Mm-hmm.
confirm? I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so as Meena said, Meena and Mitesh, both of them said, don't go text hi, how are you? You're never going to get a reply. बहुत कम chances है reply मिलेगा. Don't go say hi, how are you? Don't go say hi, let's connect. Don't go introduce yourself, then say let's connect. Always go with some context. Also, once somebody DM'd me, a very long DM it was, and they were like, "Hey, I'm this, I do this, that, this, and can I know about your story?" Which I don't. It was a very weird DM. I'm like, which story do you want to know? Is it my love story, my trauma story, or my career story? Which story? So don't DM these things. If you really want to know about the person, you can just go ask specific, hey, where do you live? What do you do? Hey, I see this in your bio. You are creator at this, can you tell me more about this, what your work look like or something. Just go DM something of this kind. Don't go without context, don't DM weird things. Also, don't, if you need help with anything, let's say you want to come and ask to me anything related to Twitter, that you need help with profile optimization or anything, don't come and DM me, hey Urvashi, I need help, or hey Urvashi, can you help me. Don't DM this. Always come up, say what your question is, just say that this is something you need help with. Because the whole timing when you come up and say, hey, can you help me, then I'll say hi, yes, I can help you, then you will ask your question, then I'll answer your question. It's a very long process, and most of the times people do not have time, they have work, they are busy with their own lives and everything. So make sure you are not doing this. Always go with the context when you're DMing. And somebody asked in the chat that who to DM. I think Meena covered that thing while I was not here.
Oh, no, no,
Meena, you
I
said
did
right.
not. Who to DM is basically whoever you want to DM. I mean, it's a very specific question. I don't know how to answer it. Let's say I'm a new account
I'll
and I like Urushi's profile a lot. And let's say I want to DM her or I want to work with her, I'll just DM her. So it's who to DM. I don't know. I think, oh, she left. Yeah, she's here. Are you here?
I mean, it's whoever you want to. Let's say you want to connect with someone who's like, इसका content अच्छा है, their content is good, or let's say their podcast is good, and you just want to be in the network. Just DM that person.
Yeah.
As long as you're not,
Whoever is your favorite, DM them.
yeah. I was like, as long
See, I
as you
can
don't.
And
say कि-
Oh my god, everyone is just talking at once.
okay, sorry,
I
sorry.
was like,
I was just saying because I DM a lot of people. I'll tell what kind of people I DM. Number one is people I want to be friends with. Number two, people whose content I love. Number three, my active followers. Number four, people who can be my clients. They can be founders, they can be agency owners. So these are the people I mostly DM. Yeah, I think you can also figure it out for yourself that कहाँ से benefit मिल रहा है उन लोगों को DM. You can do. Yep, Meena, you were saying something.
yeah, I was just adding that as long as you don't cross somebody's boundaries, you're free to DM anybody. Just make sure you don't send around inappropriate images or inappropriate videos or texts or anything. So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. And not disrespecting messages. For example, you take somebody's tweet and then come up and say something that is not right. Don't, you will never get a reply like that. Even if you want to be friends with somebody, or even if you're being sarcastic, or even if you're trying to be funny, most of the people don't like it. So don't do it.
So the
I
what
mean,
you can
don't
do
try
is,
to be.
बोलते
I was like, don't try to be funny at the first DM itself. Like पहले connection बना लो, उसके बाद try करो. That's fine. But पहले DM पे तुम sarcastic हो रहे हो तो it would be, I would feel bad कि who is this guy who just randomly coming on and replying to my tweet. See, और मीना sorry कुछ बोल रही थी.
I was saying that let's say you don't like somebody's content, and instead of going and hating on them in the comments or something, what you can do is you can just mute the person. Twitter has this feature. All social medias have this feature. If you don't like somebody's content, you can block them, unfollow them, and mute them. So that is something that you can, And let's say somebody is in your circle, where it's a professional relationship and you don't want to ruin it, but you can't talk to them directly about something, and that you can't block them or something like that. There's always the option for muting them. While you mute someone, nobody else, the other person doesn't get to know. So you can do that instead of hating in the comments or hating in the DMs or something like that. Another thing is, in case somebody is not replying to your DMs, just take a sign that the other person doesn't want to talk to you, instead of spamming them every now and then, that why are you not replying, and all those things. Last thing that I want to add is, please do not send your own tweets or anything in the DMs until and unless it's something that might help the other person. Let's say I'm a SEO person, and if somebody in the same niche as me DMs me something on SEO, okay, hey, I found this is a list of resources I've curated, I thought this might help you, this is something that you can send. Please don't sit and send me every tweet of yours saying that like this tweet, please retweet this tweet. That doesn't work. It's just creating a bad image of you in my head, and I might obviously go and share it with my friends because they are in my circle, and then it's just whole mass unfollow and all that stuff. So please make sure you don't do that.
Yep. Also, Anmol, can we take some people on the stage to ask questions?
Yes,
Like,
I'll open up the stage.
yeah. So we can open on the stage, and if people, if you have any questions, you can come on the stage directly. This the good part is you can give more context if you're on the stage. So like the problem with text is we can only assume something. So when people ask you what to tweet, I don't know who is the person asking. Is he a student? Is he a founder? Is he a freelancer? But if you're on voice, I can give more context-based answer than some generic answer. So yeah, that's that. And we're covered, I think, most things in the leveraging Twitter part. One thing I think we missed is the spaces and lists. So spaces is basically the audio version of the audio version, let's say Clubhouse and everything. Even this is the audio version of a voice call, right? So spaces is basically this only. But on Twitter, the benefit of Twitter is you don't have to, let's say, have it installed Alexa. It's their default in the app only. So that's why most people are active on spaces because it's they don't have to download a different app. And second thing is a lot of good spaces are happening every now and then. So let's say you want to talk about internships and everything. There are spaces where you basically are they are hiring people on spaces also. So that happens. There are few spaces where people from Google and Microsoft are basically sharing their internship experiences. How should you plan an internship experience? What to have in your CV? They also preview. They review their CVs on the space itself. So if you're someone who is active on spaces, people know you also better. And since it's audio platform, people will know you even if your tweets are not that trending or that. People will know, okay, this guy is speaking on spaces. Let's check his account once. So it's also good for organic reach and basically creating a network. And so yeah, if you are someone who's new to Twitter, please join spaces. And if you get the time, host and co-host spaces with your friends. It's a good way to build a network. And the last point is list. So list is basically you could say a alternative feed for your profile. On the current profile you have the homepage. It's basically based on the people you follow, the topics you follow, and the trending tweets which are trending basically. तो कभी कभी ट्रेंडिंग ट्वीट भी आ जाएंगे तुम्हारे फीड पे because it's trending they have highlights, that's it. But mostly it's the people you follow and the mutual connections or the likes, the tweets my friends like, that's it. But the benefit of list is it's basically a alternative feed where only a limited number of tweets will be shown by specific accounts, and you can choose which accounts to be shown here. So let's say you are someone who is very into a share market. So what you can do is you can add 10 accounts in a list which are basically updating about financial news. That's it, because it's very time sensitive. Let's say a market is going down or there is a news just said the share market will be affected. You want to know it very quickly. You want to be the first person to be knowing this news, so you can have that in an alternative feed. Or let's say you are a startup founder or a freelancer, you can have an alternative feed for favorite creators. See, these are the creators who post regularly, and no matter what happens, I don't want to miss their content. So that is something you can use and basically control your feed itself. And don't let Twitter control your feed. You can take accounts, specific accounts, उसमें से ही reels दिखेंगे. So it's very powerful. You're basically controlling your own feed. You're not letting the algorithm control your feed, and you're also making sure what do you consume daily, because what you consume is basically what you become today. So you should, if you're conscious about your consumption, list is something you should really focus on. And you can make your own list, or you can follow list made by other people. So there was this one guy who made a list like, scroll like Variku and Elon Musk. Basically उसका मतलब क्या था कि वो that guy they added all the accounts who Elon Musk and Vargo follow. And the benefit of that is basically you are seeing the feed which Elon Musk is seeing every day because you're following the same people in the list. So if you want to try that, what do these famous accounts follow, उनका feed कैसे दिखता है, you can try that also. You can check a Variku ka list where basically what you see is what Variku sees when he opens the Twitter account, which is super cool. So if you that, you can try that. Anything else in terms of list, Meena and Oroshi?
You can also use list. For example, I have a list called brand accounts for which I use that list to get inspiration for client accounts and get inspiration for different tweets. I have another a list called as इनके tweets miss नहीं करने. These are the accounts I really love their tweets and I really want to engage with them on a regular basis. So you can always do that. Use list as your own way. It's like a very very nice feature, to be honest, because feed pay you see a lot of random things. So list is a better feature to scroll.
Mm-hmm. Anything else from your side, Meena?
Uh,
Maybe Hamina, if
Yeah, I
add
just
anything from list.
said that I just wanted to say that list the good thing about lists is that you can make a private list as well as you can make a public list. So let's say you have made a list which you think can help other people, you can just send it to them or you can just share it amongst your friends and saying that I've made a list and everything, and you can keep adding members to it and all that stuff. So your lists will get followers. Followers is basically when somebody follows your list. When you think that let's say I share a list with Urvashi, and if she likes the list or something, she can give it a follow and she'll get notifications from that list. So this is how list works. And there are private lists where it's a private feed only to you. You can make a list private. There's an option right there, and it's very easy to navigate. Nothing difficult or anything as such. So these are the two things I just wanted to say. Sometimes let's say you have so this is something that I've done in the past which has helped me a lot. Let's say so I've made particular accounts only to engage with particular people. So I just have the list, the name of the list is engage, and I don't want somebody else to see that on my profile. So that is the reason I usually make it private. So that is just something that might be helpful.
Yep. Like basically, let's say you add Meena to her list, but you don't want her to know कि उसको add किया है, and you're stalking her. You basically have to have a private list. That's it. But if you have a public list, she will get notified that Urvashi has added you to the list. So make sure that if you don't want to be notified about other to be notified, your list is private. With that, the Mughal Guru has asked us one question, that should we have hashtags or not in the thread or tweets. So with that, we'll go to my favorite section, which is mistakes people do on Twitter. These are the mistakes people who are joining Twitter or who are not known to the good side of Twitter make. So Meena, why don't you answer this? Should you use hashtags or not,
This is my
or do
favorite.
hashtags help?
This is my favorite topic. So it's a very normal weird thing, but Twitter's algorithm is in such a way that instead of picking up on hashtags, it picks up on the keywords, and the keywords being the words, normal words without any highlights or anything as such that you use in your tweet. A few of the keywords to mention to make it clear for you guys is business leaders, which includes all the CEOs, founders, venture capitalists, and all that stuff. There is startup. So every time any tweet, any from anybody, any part of the world, anybody has that startup written in their tweet, and if you go and search only for startup, those tweets will rank. So that's how Twitter works. It targets the keywords and not the hashtags. You should target hashtags. So hashtags don't really work, it just lowers the reach, but it does work in some rare cases when it's a trending hashtags or anything as such. And how to know if a hashtag is trending or not? Sometimes people have groups where they make a trend by themselves. They group of a lot of people in it, and they make a trend saying that this is a format and you can copy the same format and let's make it a trend with this hashtag. And all the people in that group will start following it up, and other people from that group जिनका भी audience होगा उसी group के members में से they'll start following it as well. So it becomes a trend, and that way it can get to trending hashtags. The other way to find trending hashtags is your explore page. So these are the only two ways you can find trending hashtags, and I don't promise you that it will work or not. It can work, it might not work, but usually the only time hashtags work is when it's a trending hashtags. Apart from that, it doesn't work. Rare cases, very rare, that is 0.001%. Sometimes the account is very big, or accidentally kuch type kar diya hai or anything like that. That is when it works because they already have an active audience. So these are the very rare cases. Uske alawa, please don't use hashtags in your threads and tweets.
Okay. Coming to, let's say, other mistakes people do. So Urvashi, what are the other mistakes people do on Twitter apart from including hashtags in the tweets? Anything you can think of?
Not undo retweeting the tweets they retweet. Like their profile is whole retweeted. So I hate this thing. I don't know why I say this every time. Just every time you retweet something, a tweet of others' profile, it stays on your profile, and it looks very bad because I'm going to see your tweets on the profile, but I'm seeing other people's tweet on your profile. So don't do it. Every time you retweet something, after 10 hours, after 12 hours, after one day, please go and undo retweet this particular tweet so that it doesn't stay on your profile. And after 10, 12 hours, the retweet is not adding any reach to the tweet as well. So it doesn't matter if you undo retweet it. So always go and undo retweet that particular tweet. Other mistakes, what it would be? Mitesh might know. You tell. Mitesh.
You're
Yeah,
talking on mute, I guess.
yeah, I was just
Oh God.
no, I was just checking someone's profile जो chat में share किया है. A mistake I see a lot of people doing is doing a lot of code retweets, and although I love the intention of people that they want to comment or something, but code retweets generally have lesser reach than your actual tweets. So most people won't see your code retweets unless it's very controversial or your take is making sense. It's going against the tweet, and people will like that. But mostly you should avoid doing code retweets. It's better that you reply to the tweet or you make your own tweet and tag that person. That is a better way of replying. But yeah, most people, I've seen a lot of people just code random stuff. Let's say they want to say congratulations, they will just code retweet the tweet and say congratulations sir. And I was like, वो reply हो सकता था वहाँ पर. You don't need to have retweeting that. So make sure that you don't quote retweet a lot. Maybe once in a while it's okay because you want to show people what you are replying to. But the thing is, Twitter already shows what you're replying to on other people's feed. Let's say I replied to Urvashi's Twitter replied sorry post. Even if you're not following Urvashi, you will see that I have replied to Urvashi's tweet. So even though you don't actually quote retweet, people will see कि तुमने reply कहाँ पे किया. Because the thing is, Twitter पे there is nothing as reply there. Everything is a tweet only. So everything, even if you counter as a tweet. So whatever rules apply to your tweet also apply to your reply section also. So make sure that you don't quote tweet it a lot. That's one mistake I see a lot of people do. One more mistake, since I saw someone's profile, is that not having a banner space. The banner space is something a lot of people can use. So why don't you use it? You can. And the next question you ask is what type of banner to have. Let's say you are a photographer or a videographer. The best thing to have is to have your own photo shot. Like तुमने कुछ photograph लिया है, or maybe the best photograph you have, make that your banner. Like that is the best way to show कि you are a photographer. A different way to go about it is you can go on Canva. There is a section known as banners for LinkedIn and Twitter. You can just make a already, there will be a lot of templates, and you can just edit your name or the things you're interested in and make a banner for that. The benefit of that is, first of all, we all know that visuals are better than text. That is why Instagram pay photos do reels do better, because people like watching stuff visuals but rather than reading stuff. So make sure that you use that visual space above your account. So you can also have 3 4 keywords in that. Like for example, if you're a video creator, you can just have a YouTube ka logo there, ki YouTube creator. That's it. So when people come to your profile, they scan it for like 3 seconds, 5 seconds max. In that 5 seconds, give them as much as information you can have, and that initial 5 seconds is basically your ad running. It's your profile has been run as an ad. तो if there is an ad, why don't you want कि वहाँ पे visuals भी हों? Don't you want कि जितना भी space जा रहा है, I use it to full potential? So the thing is, whatever you use in your banner, you will have more space in your bio to add more things. So let's say you have written that you are a ghostwriter in your banner itself. One thing is that two words have been saved. Now you can write more things in your bio, which will give more context about people. You can have a CTA towards the end. Okay, DM me for ghostwriting projects, or DM me to upscale or something like that. So you can then have space for CTA also, and so have that banner. So this is something a lot of people don't have initially. And if you don't want to make your own banner, just go on Canva. There are a lot of templates, but थोड़े edit करके बना दो, download कर लो, हो गया. So yeah, make sure you don't do a lot of code retweets, and make sure you have a profile banner. That is two mistakes I see a lot of people doing on Twitter when they start off. Anything else, Urvashi and Meena?
Links. We didn't talk about links in the tweets and all that stuff. So a lot of time you would like to share, let's say you come across an article or a good YouTube video or something like that, and you would want to share it with your audience, or you would want to share it on the internet. A lot of times what people do is they share it within the first tweet. This is wrong, because links are something that the algorithm is made in such a way that the links in the same tweet won't will take your tweet down. The reach goes down basically. What you can do is you can just talk about in the first tweet. What you can do is you can talk about, hey, I found a very good resource on so and so topic. Check below for the link. And within the same, you can add a reply, and this comes in a form of a thread. So it's a short thread. On your profile, it will be seen as a thread. So you just add a link in the next tweet, not in the same tweet. And in the next tweet, that's all fine. If you add it in the next tweet, it doesn't affect the reach that much as it affects it in the first tweet. इसके अलावा bio and everything you guys have covered. The last thing I want to talk about is DMs. That make sure your DMs are always closed. Please make sure that. So the good part about DMs is that anybody can reach out to you anytime. You can reach out to anybody at any time. Let's say your DMs are closed and somebody wants to reach out to you, and let's say for example you do a hiring tweet and that you're looking for so and so people and all that stuff. DM with your resumes or any the proof of work or any of that. And let's say your DMs are closed now. Even if there are best of the resources out there trying to pitch you, they won't be able to reach you out because your DMs are closed. So please make sure your DMs are always closed, always open, sorry.
Yep. Very important point. A lot of people have a closed DM. So let's say when I want to reach you out, I can't DM you. So I will just ignore iska DM band, then let's go to other person. So don't make that mistake. Keep your DMs open. And the way you open your DM is you go to setting privacy. There is a direct message option, and and after that there will be an option to filter DMs, private DMs, public DMs. So you make your DMs public. So even if I don't follow you, I can reach out to you. So that is the way if you want to open your DMs on mobile. Urvashi, do you want to add something?
I just wanted to. Somebody asked about engagement and tweeting engagement and consistency. So I just wanted to say that how much tweets are enough tweets. Let's talk about that as well. That how much one should tweet in a day.
Yep, yep. So I saw someone's profile right now, and they have tweeted like 3 times in a day, and uske baad for a week they have not tweeted at all. So this is something you should not do. Don't spam the algorithm every time you come online and then go ghost for a week or so. The best way to do is what we have learned is you tweet 2 to 3 times every day, and make sure you're consistent here. And the उससे भी ज़्यादा important बात, when you're starting out, make sure you're engaging enough. And engagement का मतलब क्या होता है? You are basically replying to other people's tweet. That's engagement. So replying to people, if there is a question, you answer that question. That's one reply. And if someone is posting something good, you appreciate that person ki, oh, hey, good post of this point. Specific precision better hogi rather than just telling ki congratulations, good point. That also means you have actually read the post or thread. So things like that are basically engagement. So engagement could be around, let's say, 10 to anywhere between 10 to 20. So you have to make sure that you're engaging on 10 to 20 profiles every day, 10 to 20 tweets every day. Even if you don't follow them, it's okay. Just make sure you're engaging well. So these are the two frequencies I would want to suggest. Ki 2 to 3 times is the posting time, and 10 to 20 is the engagement time. कि इतने time में तुम्हें engage करना है daily, by the way. And let's say you cannot give enough time, make sure that you're giving at least half the time daily. कि you're doing 5 to 10 replies every day, and you're tweeting at least twice every day. So a lot of people, the problem with most people, the reason they don't tweet is they think कि उनकी quality बहुत कम है या फिर उनके पास content नहीं है. And the best way to improve is just tweet a lot. That's it. Like you will never think कि तुम good enough for to tweet what, और या फिर तुम्हारी quality good enough है. The only way to improve your quality is to increase the quantity. So don't reduce the quantity of tweeting. Don't tweet once in 3 days. Tweet 2 times every day, even if its quality is low, because वो धीरे धीरे improve हो जाएगा. You will learn, you will get a hang of tweeting. You will know what to write, how to write it better. But at least start writing from day one, 2 times every day. So yeah, that is the frequency wala part. Urvashi and Meena, is this correct or something else you want to add?
No, no, you were completely right. I just don't want people to come and say that, hey, I tweet every day. Like that is every day is like one tweet in a day and say we are consistent. Don't say that you're consistent if you're tweeting just one time, that is not enough, especially if you're a new profile. You need to go up, need to show up every day.
Yep, yep. And someone asked LinkedIn, Twitter. If I have a business, should I go for LinkedIn? Should I go for Twitter? I will give some context. But I will give the mic to more experience on LinkedIn. I would say depends upon the type of business you have. In terms of volume, let's say Twitter is better because organic reach बहुत अच्छी है. And in terms of the type of business, what I mean is, let's say you're a tech-based business or you're into Web3 or crypto. Then obviously Twitter is better because Twitter पे audience better है तुम्हारे business के लिए. But let's say you are into SaaS or you are into something else, जहाँ पे LinkedIn की audience है. So you might go to LinkedIn. But most people who have businesses, startups, or in tech based or let's say SaaS are active on Twitter. The founders are active on Twitter. So I mean again it depends upon तुम्हारे audience तुम्हें कैसे चाहिए. Do you want the LinkedIn audience? Do you want the Twitter audience? And let's say you have a product who is into let's say something like no, go with Twitter because Twitter pay you will get early adopters of your product. LinkedIn pay there is you will get audience, but the audience won't try out your product. They won't try a new branded Notion app. They will just trust already famous apps. So if you want new adopters, people who will just try your app and give feedback, Twitter is the best platform to start with. But in terms of other businesses, it depends, and I think Meena would give the better answer to this. Twitter or LinkedIn for business.
Again, it's very context based on what your target audience is, what kind of business you have, and everything. It's just that I want to say that no matter what it is, make sure you're engaging with your audience in whatsoever platform it is. Sometimes I feel that LinkedIn gets difficult while engaging with the target audience. That is the reason go for Twitter. Beyond that, I would just suggest you that keep having, let's say, it's just a small steal strategy or whatsoever you would cheat sheet, whatever you would like to call. What you can do is, let's say your account is dead, you can just go ahead. Let's say your company account is dead, you can go ahead with giveaways. This is just a tweet idea that I'm giving you guys. Let's say your company account is dead for a very long time. After posting consistently, you can go ahead for a giveaway and you can share it with your friends and ask them to share it with their friends and ask them to participate. And you can have come up with such small things for company accounts. You can host spaces on LinkedIn. You can have live chat. I think live going live is an option for creator mode. So make sure your company account is switched to creator mode, and you can go for live and you can spread out. You can do the marketing of the live in prior. So it is a very context based. If you could tell me a little about your company or the business, I would be able to help properly.
So the guys is a real estate business. So if it's a real estate business, what do you prefer, Twitter or LinkedIn?
I think if it's a real estate business, please go for Twitter, because real estate may, I'm pretty sure you can't write long form post, a lot of long form posts, and LinkedIn algorithm is something that won't be suitable with the short form content. Sometimes it might work, but not always. Let's say if all your 5 posts are short form, then LinkedIn algorithm doesn't hold you good. So make sure you go for Twitter, because Twitter supports short form content. I hope it helped.
Yep. If anyone has any more questions, they can come on the stage. You can just drop in the chat. Anything else we want to cover, Urvashi, Meena? Did we miss something in terms of Twitter? क्या करना है? I think we covered most of the points.
Yep, we did. If anybody have any question, drop it there. And people are sharing their profiles for reviews. I would suggest please come up in these speakers.
Yep, yep. So we can give better feedback थोड़ा अच्छे से.
Yeah. And
Also,
more
I
if
think
we
our
can
Yes.
have people in the speaker.
Yes, guys, please
Mhm.
raise your hand and I'll be happy to bring you on the stage.
If you want to get your profile reviewed, we will review 2 or 3 profiles, maybe. Dube.
Yep, 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 yep. Also, I saw Anmol's profile there, so we can start with Anmol because he's on the speaker. So wait, let's
Great.
have
We
let
have
me.
done it once in this space, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I think we have done it.
We've reviewed
फिर वापस
Anmol's
करते
profile
हैं.
पहले.
Yep, yep.
it is more or less the same.
Anmol, can you drop your profile here? कहाँ पे गया? I think वो thread पे था
Sure,
कहीं पर.
sure.
हाँ, यहाँ पे we will go to I think the Mughal Dev or Sujay, yeah, your Mughal Dev. Also, since I read the username, make sure that you don't have a weird username. That a lot of people have this fancy username कि tech god or some weird thing. Make sure कि तुम्हारा नाम ही तुम्हारा username हो. If you can get it, if नहीं मिल सकता, make sure कि let's say it could be something it's easy to pronounce and easy to understand. A lot of people have these numbers or this very weird language वाला, it's a different emoji. तो मुझे पढ़ने को नहीं होता कि हमारा username है क्या. So that username, although it's a very small thing, but you have to understand that तुम्हारे username से people, you don't tag someone based on their name. You can't type my name Mitesh Dube and tag me. You have to type Dubeji and tag me. Same with Urvashi and Meena. So make sure that your username is easy, so people can tag you easily. If it's something very, if it has a number, most people won't remember it. If it is something emoji based or जहाँ पर different emoji है, again I can't tag you. So make sure our username is very simple, easy to pronounce, and generally should be your name only, like Mitesh Dube or फिर Mitesh or फिर Meena or फिर Urvashi or Anmol. That's it. Don't complicate normal bullshit just for कि मेरे को emoji बहुत मस्त दिख रहा है या फिर flag लगा देता हूँ मस्त लगेगा. Like don't. Simple is better always.
Yeah. And always, if you can try to make and go with something unique, like my username is unique and now people know me as Take It Easy. So if you have something unique in the mind, you can do it, but don't go like बहुत ही unique के numbers add कर दो. It's very difficult to remember.
ओए होए अनमोल का प्रोफाइल तो मस्त ऑप्टिमाइज कर लिया उसने, बैनर भी लगा दिया. So Anmol's bio says building community at marketup dot underscore n, which is basically this Discord server. Actively involved in programming Web3 communities talks. Simple. And his DMs are open. Good. He has a pin tweet. Good. He has a banner also. So yeah, Amnol is doing fairly great from the last time we checked. Uska username is also very simple. Unmold underscore GH. That's his name only. And his banner says that I help communities grow, and the growth written in the like increasing manner. So it's very. I
Very
think
nice.
graphically I like it. I like it. And there is a follow back के ऊपर there is a follow का वो कि ये ना कि follow me here, and there is programming in Web3 in the below the line of the banner. And I like the color also. It's very simple. So yeah, it's a good profile. Anmol. So what? Let's say overall. अच्छा ठीक है. Let's go with Urvashi and Meena. Urvashi and Meena, please give your reviews to Anmol's profile.
I
उसके बाद we'll
just
see what
want
we
to
can improve.
I just want to say don't repeat programming Web3. Bio में भी है, then banner में भी है. Include a CTA in the bio because right now there's no CTA, you know. So एक
Mm-hmm.
CTA add कर दो. Maybe you can it can be anything कि मतलब DM for this thing, DM for that thing, or it can be anything. Yeah,
Mm. Also,
whatever you.
after few days, you जो pin tweet is, you can change it because your original account got hacked
I
or
was
banned or
going to
something.
say that. I
It
was just
wasn't.
to say that.
हाँ, ये आपकी न्यूज़ है अप्रैल की. सो अप्रैल मई जून जुलाई, इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 3 months नाउ. सो मोस्ट पीपल who followed you there already has followed you here. So ये आपको चेंज करना पड़ेगा let's say in a month or so. And you have written a thread, let's say 5 reasons why you should be a part of an active community. You can pin this because it's a valuable thread, and it's also very fairly good written. Like I can see the formatting is good. There are points and there are emojis. It's a good thread, I would say, as a beginner. बाकी good tweets, number of tweets भी अच्छे हो रहे हैं. There is also media on the tweets, no hashtags, so I'm happy. बाकी yeah, it's a good profile. पहले से बहुत improve लग रहा है. Yeah, Anmol, I think you should be proud of yourself. You did really good on this after the space.
All the credit goes to you three guys.
And we are just helping the mistakes we did. That's it. And you're also, I see on the engagement part, you're also engaging with a lot of people. There, I think you are helping Mansi. She asked something, and you're helping that. So I mean, just genuinely engaging with people, helping them out. That is the best engagement ever. You're actually looking at a person and helping them. That's it. There is no ask. There is no incentive to reply. It's like, हाँ, normally help कर रहे हैं. Yeah, it's good. And in one of the tweets, someone is asking ki, I think it's which is the best startup for founding team, and Anmol has tagged Fuller, and he's saying Fuller has the best team in my opinion. All of them are passionate about what they are building. Fuller HQ is also a favorite startup. Ritin is the founder. He's really crazy on Twitter. You should always check their account, and their tweets are also very nice and valuable. So again, your Anmol ने जो reply किया, it's a valuable engagement वाला reply. He had no incentive. वो खुद उसका startup भी नहीं है, किसी और का startup है. Tweet भी उसका नहीं है. So why is he actually engaging? Because it's meaningful engagement. You're actually, there is a question and you're answering that. That's it. इसमें कोई plan नहीं या फिर it's not a strategy. It's a normal human replying to a question with a genuine answer. That's it. So be genuine is also a good hack, I would say, to grow on Twitter. Just be genuine about your interests, your likes. If someone is your favorite creator, tag करो उसको सब जगह जाके, If someone is asking who's your favorite creator, just tag that person. That's it. It's a simple thing, but it's important. It's good engagement, and then the people who tag this time बाद Anmol ने tag किया, they will feel good about Anmol ki Anmol is a nice person. And let's say Anmol in future wants to reach out to Fuller, then this reply would actually help Anmol to कि Anmol because of reply किया था, they might know his DP or username कि हाँ, we know who you are. So that familiarity helps to build connections. Yeah, Anmol, good profile.
And also, I'm assuming that Anmol is making connection in DMs because when he DM'd me for this session, it was a very good DM, and I received very few good DMs. I'm seriously telling you, and Anmol sent me a very nice DM, so I'm pretty sure that Anmol is also making connections in the DM with the right strategies. Anmol, are
Yes.
you doing it?
Anmol,
Uh,
Anmol.
depends on who am I reaching out and what is the reason though. Mostly yes, I'm more focusing on DMs.
Yeah, so just change this thing that bio and banner में जो चीज repeat हो रही है, avoid doing that and try adding a CTA in the profile. Otherwise, the profile is fab.
Perfect.
Hmm. Who's I think next person was Sujay. Hey Sujay, here. Can you drop a reply in the chat so we can go to your profile? Sujay कहाँ पर गया? I think Sujay is here. Yeah. So Sujay's profile, or should I drop a
Can we
link?
get him on these? Uh,
ये मैंने that's it. Wait. sorry, गलत वाला share कर दिया. I'll share the link of his profile. It's here. Hmm. Yeah. Can you see his profile, Sujay?
Also, I've yeah, welcome to the panel. Yeah.
Hey, Sujay is here. Hi, Sujay. Good evening. Is Sujay audible or is it my internet? I can't hear him.
oh, he's not audible.
Sujay की DP भी hi बोल रही है. Yeah, cute.
Dube, can you tag the profile in my Twitter DMs, please?
Uh, people charge lol. Mahaprasad is true. Urvashi charge करती है for consultation by the.
महाप्रसाद का अकाउंट है क्या?
महाप्रसाद
Yeah, am I
कहाँ है?
audible?
That's
Am I audible?
Mahaprasad. Yeah. Yes, Sujay, you're audible.
Okay, okay. Good evening, guys.
Sujay, tell us something about you. What do you do? And what's your end goal to Twitter? Because थोड़ा goal होना भी I think we missed this on the leveraging part कि you should know कि why are you basically tweeting out. So tell me what you do and what's your goal to Twitter.
Also, tell me your Twitter username, please.
My
मैंने
Twitter
share
user.
उर्वशी check your DM on Twitter.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. So
Yes, Sujay.
basically I want to create my personal brand so that it can help for upcoming startup that we guys are doing. And like I am a founder, and one more guy is there. He is also
Mm-hmm.
struggling uh, to grow Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
so what's your background? Like, what do you do currently? Are you working a full-time job? What is it?
No, not full-time job. I'm a freelancer and
Okay.
technology, basically specialized in technology and kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
So, can you tell me what type of services do you provide to your clients?
Uh, Software development and web development, and right now providing services in Web3 and Web5.
Okay, so 5 ही आ गया क्या बात है
Mm.
nice. So you,
Yeah.
basically you make websites and you code apps, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Um, so your profile, I think Urvashi and Meena on the profile. Are you guys on the profile? Urvashi and Meena, hello. Reply.
Yes, yes.
Meena is
Mm,
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, hi.
yeah. Are you on the profile, Sujay ka? Yeah. So what do you want to suggest, Meena?
देख रही हूँ,
Starting with you.
एक second. So number
Yeah.
one thing I think I like is that his picture here and on Discord is the same. Uh, I'm not sure if
Yes.
it's the same everywhere else
Good
also
point.
and if the username is the same. But I really hope it's the same because it's easy for people to identify you. And let's say you change this in future, it might be a hard time where people can't recognize you and all that stuff. Besides this, I think it's a right time if you are considering to change your DP, because you don't have, the followers are a little less, so people, not a lot of people know you, right? So you can change your DP if you want. You can change your username if you want and all that stuff. उसके अलावा young Mugler ka E or R a capital Q in your username, because it's very difficult when someone types it. Another thing is Sujay aka Aradhya, two names. It's very difficult for people to remember it. Make sure एक ही नाम डालो, because when I'm searching up,
एक नाम भी याद नहीं
हाँ
होता.
एक नाम भी याद नहीं होता. And sometimes क्या होता है ना, even when you're searching for, let's say I search for Sujay, I won't find it, and I'll try remembering the username, that is at young Mugler or whatever. Mogler, is that how you pronounce it? So I'll try searching for that. So make sure your name is the same everywhere, okay? And make sure आगे जाके you're known by the same name, तो change मत करना. उसके अलावा I just have one question. Name के आगे इंडिया का फ्लैग है और बायो में यूएस का फ्लैग है. I just want to know what is the target here. Like, who are you targeting?
Yes, Meena, you are audible.
Hello, Sujay.
Why are you
I
whispering?
don't know. I just is Sujay here?
Sujay, you are not audible. You can type it in the chat in case you're having issues.
Yeah, and somebody please read it for me, because if I go in the chat, then I won't be able to speak.
ठीक है कर लेंगे. ये noob उर्वशी noob हो गई आज Discord के लिए. Hey Sujay is back. Hey Sujay, can you talk? Are we audible? Hello.
I hope at least you're listening. Wait.
Sujay, you can type it in the chat if you're having issues.
It's okay. Also, what is this Mughal thing? मुझे समझा नहीं इसका मतलब. Is it Mughal वाला Mughal?
Mogul
Is
or
it, does Mughal mean like a good thing or a bad thing? What is it? No offense to anyone, but yeah, Mughal Dev.
what language is that in?
Mughal means entrepreneur. कौन सा language में यार? Dev or developer? See, even Anmol is confused about dev and developer. So, like, the first that whenever someone is on your profile, they should not be confused about your profile. When you write the Mughal dev, people are like, Mughal dev क्या है? Like, ये कुछ code है? Is it a gaming reference? Is it a name that I should know? Like, it's confusing. And 5 सेकंड में एक तो ऑलरेडी टाइम कम है, ऊपर से इन्फॉर्मेशन भी लिमिटेड है, ऊपर से तुम कंफ्यूजन डाल रहे हो, तो पीपल लाइक अरे यार छोड़ो स्क्रॉल कर देते हैं कुछ होगा. So make sure that it's clear, it's not confusing, and it's like straight to the point. So
Be creative, but
keep
don't be
one
इतना
username.
creative that it harms you. Disarms you. How would it?
Yeah, creativity. If you creativity tweets में दिखाओ, banner में दिखाओ, not in usernames and in your actual user, like tag वाला thingy. तो yeah, make sure that पहली बात तो I would suggest कि एक ही कर दो, और हो सके तो यूजर नेम को भी सेम रख दो कि सुजॉय रख दो, because people will know you as Sujay. Or if you want to, let's say, go ahead with a name like a pseudo anonymous name, कि people don't know your actual name, so make sure that that name is easily pronounceable, like Mughal Dev कर दो, the Mughal Dev के अलावा. So and make sure that तुम्हारा यूजर नेम भी वही हो जाए. Then the problem with that is people won't know you as Sujoy, they will only know you as Mughal Dev. So if you're happy with that, no worries. But as a founder, if you are planning to start a product or company, I would suggest कि तुम अपने personal name को आगे लेके जाओ, because people will know not the Mughal Dev has a brand. So it's very weird to think in that sense that people like talking to people and not accounts or brands. So that's only the one thing I would suggest. बाकी in terms of profile, उर्वशी तुझे कुछ ऐड करना है प्रोफाइल में, क्या ऐड कर इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं, कुछ मिस्टेक्स?
Banner, and like I see a lot of things in the bio right now, and there's no CT right now, and there's everything but founder, so it's still weird.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think your bio should be what you basically just when you come on the stage, right? Sujay, you are going to be a founder and you help people in Web3 and Web5. Basically, उसको write कर देनी हो bio. That's it. Like nothing. It's not that complex. And after a point, you should only have keywords like content writer is a keyword, SEO person is a keyword, content creator, video creator. ये सब जो keywords है schemable है. people will just keep one word and they will understand कि okay, ये बंदा वीडियो क्रिएटर है, that's it, no context needed. But जहाँ पे सेंटेंस जरूरी है सेंटेंस लिख दो. Right now your the bio is very long in terms of you have a first line which is you help American brands in Web3 and Web3, that's one line. उसके बाद कोई लाइन होनी ही नहीं चाहिए. पर उसके बाद एक और लंबी लाइन है which is I tweet about I'm an tech entrepreneur who tweets about पांच छह चीजें. उसके बाद एक्स्ट्रा भी डालते हैं कि I also talk about other things also. So इसको cut down कर दो. Make sure you don't have a lot of sentences and you have keywords, founder or maybe brand strategist if you're a brand strategist or if you're a coder, write coder. So yeah, ये सब banner bio में change कर सकते हो. And banner is I think banner is the Richard Feynman, the famous Richard Feynman का banner है. So if you want to, if you're okay with that, you can obviously use that banner because a lot of people know him, and you will have similar interests. People might follow you. If you let's say you have a brand का image, your own company का image, you can also add that in future. Let's say your startup का जो image होगा, site होगा, उसका screenshot डाल के you can keep that as a banner, so people know that you have a startup also. So yeah, that's for future obviously. अभी के लिए तो that's fine. बाकी anything else, Meena or Roshi, in the tweets,
Yeah, I
engagement,
just
anything?
wanted to say that you've added Indie Hacker एक बार bio में add किया है, and then the second time, as you mentioned, it's the emojis that you've added. Whichever is recognizable, use that. Or if the emojis do the work, remove it from the bio. And there are a lot of things, just cut down to 3 of them because it's very difficult for people to remember as well. So, and it's very difficult for you as well to create the content in a balance to talk about all the things that you mentioned. Okay, if you want, you can talk about it, nobody is stopping you, but just make sure in your banner, bio, whatsoever it is, have 3 of them on your profile. Just make sure 2 to 3 things are there, not more than that, because it confuses everyone, your audience and yourself. So this is something that I wanted to say. Apart from that, I see that the last tweet you made was May 31st, and uske baad se you haven't tweeted at all. So please tweet. And engagement also, the last engagement was on 29th of July. So it's 29th of June, sorry. So please make sure you're engaging on a daily basis. I think someone asked it in the chat that how much should you engage. For a beginner profile, I would suggest that somewhere between 10 to 15 replies per day. That is something that you can do. And please don't force yourself to do the replies. If you can't do it, just leave it. Just don't go around messing up with your mental energy as well. So that is something. And please don't do generic comments like all the best, take care, and congratulations. Nothing. If you really like something about a person or the content they make, just point it out. That is something I really liked. And once you engage on the profiles, if you like the person, you can slide into their DMs as mentioned. And yeah, that is it. Also, Sujay, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Twitter has, in the bio, it has a link section. So you can probably optimize it by providing your startup ke, iske, what they say, website ka link or something like that, or any link that you have. It can be your Linktree ka link, or it can be your, what they say, what is that other platform, XP bio ka link, or anything.
Bio. Other platform is Linktree. The actual platform is XP Bio. Just saying, clarifying.
Okay. So yeah, you can add links of that, or you can add a
And
link of your YouTube channel or whatsoever. Any link that you feel is useful or matters to you, you can add it there.
one thing I want to add is, so I saw Sujay writes a lot of threads. So in terms of thread, the most important part of thread is the hook of the thread, which is the first tweet itself. Right now, the tweets are the threads are very, like newspaper पढ़ रहा हूँ मैं कि कि 5 laws have changed somewhere and read this. So it's not giving me the urge to open the thread. So make sure that that hook is really clickbaity types. कि I should इसको open करने से मुझे कुछ benefit मिलेगा. So work on threads. What you can do is you can just go on the advanced search and search for the topics you want to basically go trending for and search कि वहाँ पे लोग कैसे hooks बना रहे हैं. Right now the threads are very, I would say, bland and very simple. Make sure your hooks are very creative and people, you should be that creative कि people open their threads. कि open की बाद में पढ़े कि है क्या. Mahaprasad is in the listeners section. He has really good threads. So uska hook, he knows how to write the hook. So you can learn from people who write good hooks and just copy that their style of writing hooks. That's the last thing I would like to add. Baki overall it's a decent profile. I hope if you're active on Twitter, you join the Twitter profile space we have. Let's say this coming week. We can also give more suggestions there if you're obviously there. So yeah, with that, I think we can go to the next profile. Who was the next person? I think it was TB
Next
cast.
person I think is this.
TB cast.
TBS cast or something like that.
TBS cast. His name is Dheeraj
Where
Naidu.
the people?
Dheeraj, can you come on the stage? Or you can just say hi in the chat. GP Naidu.
वहाँ पर
अच्छा
साइड
hi
के
बोल दिया
ऊपर
ठीक है.
बना दिया.
So let's go with GP Naidu first of. भाई तो यार अच्छा सर्वर है ये. अनमोल ओपी. Let's go with CB chat. कहा गया TB chat. धीरज नायडू. Are you guys on the profile guys? मीना उर्वशी या फिर
Yes, yes,
भेजो प्रोफाइल.
है. भेजते एक बार. रुक जा मैं भेजती हूँ.
यू
मैं
है
भेजती हूँ एक सेकंड.
उर्वशी को डीएम कर दो कोई. धीरज नायडू. धीरज इज द फाउंडर ऑफ ड्रीम होम्स. Digital marketer, tech enthusiast. Follow me to get some tips about digital marketing. I mean, fairly, it's a good bio, I would say. It's of context. He's a founder. He's into marketing, and you can follow him to get some tips on digital marketing. So it's a fairly good bio in terms of at least beginner level. Say. The only problem I have is what is the banner about? It's TBS Cast. मुझे कुछ नहीं पता TBS Cast है क्या? Is it a podcast? Is it a brand? Is it a website? Is it some consultancy? Like what is it exactly? Is it a service? So even your username here is TBS Cast. So ये है क्या actually? So again, banner में रख दिया. It's a good banner, but what is it? Is there a link I can check it out? The link you can add in the bio if you have a link. Pin tweet में you have a meme made which is very long honestly. So you can change that. It's a good meme, but most people won't. I don't understand it, and it's very long to read on the first instance. So make sure you have a. It can either be telling more about yourself or a valuable thread you wrote a little while back. So and add links in a bio. बाकी तो I think it's tweets का भाई 34 tweets ही हैं अभी तक. You have joined last month, so yeah, welcome to Twitter. It's very new. I hope you enjoy Twitter. बाकी उर्वशी मीना बताओ कुछ ऐड करना है क्या? क्या महाप्रसाद भाई ठीक है.
I'm just seeing एक second. Dheeraj, right? 9:38 a.m. एक second, I'm just checking when was the tweet done. Okay, so I feel like Dheeraj, so I just went through a few of your tweets and I just checked the time. The tweet frequency, that is 2 tweets in a day, is great for a starter. But as a starter, but I feel you're just tweeting around the same time. You're doing 2 tweets at the same time. That is 9:48. The same time. मतलब 9:30 को किया तो you're doing the same another tweet at the same time. Make it divided into morning में एक tweet or in the evening one tweet, and then or probably if you want you can do it in the afternoon as well, depending on your audience or who you want to target. But don't just keep spamming it at just one block of time, right? Divide it. Do one in the morning or do one in the evening. Okay. That is something I wanted to say. If possible, you can change your pin tweet. Also, you said you're a founder of Dream Homes. I'm guessing you would have a website or something as such. So again, add a link. You can go to your profile. There will be a link option, so you can add a link there. It will help people reach out to your page, website, and all that. DMs are closed. Make sure DMs are open if somebody wants to reach out to you. And I'm guessing your end goal is getting more business by reading your bio. So make sure your DMs are closed. For knowing how to open your DMs, you can go to your message. There will be a settings option, and then you can make your DMs public. So do that. उसके अलावा you're not engaging enough. Please make sure you're engaging as well, because there's no engagement at all right now. There are a few engagements जहाँ पे you're doing 3 to 4 replies, but that's not enough. So that is it. Also, very 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 random, but how old are
को
you?
जाटा करना है. अच्छा मीना. Don't.
Shut the fuck. Oh, you're 14. Damn. Nice.
Damn, you're pretty
Very
young,
young.
man. I mean, make sure you go to the right side of Twitter and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to the
So
wrong
there are
side.
different sides of
So yeah,
Twitter.
just
There's
be aware.
political side, then there is a Gyan side, and then there is a different bad side. So you don't go on that.
There is also a different Gyan side. But yeah,
That's what I'm
coming
saying.
back, any more profiles who want to get reviewed, who are still here and alive, you can drop your profiles. and drop a message अगर तुमने already drop कर दिया है तो.
And you guys
हाँ
hear
God,
me?
उर्वशी.
finally.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, wow.
unfortunately.
Okay, no, I'm not speaking. I was just saying out. I was trying to speak, but कुछ और
Last
कह रही
profile,
anyways.
The Punisher,
It's okay. We are
Sankalp
happy.
Joshi का, and उसके बाद
Salkalp, Salkam,
Sankalp,
Salkalpa
बड़ा
Joshi.
होता है
Salkalp.
तुझे.
Sankalp.
Joshi is better. I like Joshi.
Oh, this says the account doesn't exist.
Just
Can
like
And with Joshi,
just like
it's
we
a.
like Guruji.
क्या बोला? क्या बोला मैंने?
Oh,
can you can you tell me his
For
username,
some
please?
reason,
it is Sankalp
Sankalp,
Joshi यार
I
उसने
can't.
उसने
I
शेयर
can't.
किया है.
I
Oh my
can't
God,
see
guys, 1 second.
that.
ओके ठीक है उर्वशी को मैं शेयर
One
कर रहा हूँ और
second.
मीना को
I'm
भी शेयर कर रहा
ठीक
हूँ.
that
है,
Sankalp, the link
ठीक
you
है.
shared is invalid. The profile doesn't exist. It's
It,
not
it is
valid. I
valid.
opened it
It is
twice or
valid.
thrice. It's not opening.
अच्छा
Sankalp,
मैं
are
शेयर
you
करता हूँ रुक जाओ.
are you decided?
महाप्रसाद का रिव्यू करने को बोला था किसी
अरे
ने.
डिवाइडेड.
Damn. Just send me.
मीना चेक योर
I'll
ट्विटर डीएम.
anybody,
कर
please.
दिया. उर्वशी कर दिया. सॉरी गलत वाला किया मैंने. सुजय का कर दिया. आई थिंक मैंने उर्वशी को बराबर किया. हाँ उर्वशी को मैंने संकल्प का भेजा है.
DMs from hot people only. ये भगवान कौन है ये? ये तो वो है, क्या नाम, महाप्रसाद है. ऋषि DM करने को बोल रहा
मीना मीना चेक योर डीएम. संकल्प जोशी का
जी.
भेजा.
Okay, I
या
like
उर्वशी तो
that
बताओ.
DP जिसमें I can see that he is a photographer. Then I think जो banner में picture है वो भी it's clicked by him. Then there's a left to create content. Okay. Avoid lines in the bio. This is something that we didn't say starting में, but try to use keywords in the bio because वही बात है. Dube said this. People skim your bio. They don't read it. So avoid lines and try using keywords. So instead of writing I love to create content and all of that, you could have just said photographer or as that would have been pretty much easy for me to know that who Sankalp is, rather than saying I love to create content. Because I think if you are on Twitter and if I see an active profile, I can pretty much understand that you like creating content. That's why you're creating so much of content and you have an active profile. So bio में वो changes हो सकता है. Apart from that, um, okay, so there's a pinned tweet. It's a thread. Okay, so there's a quote tweet जो July 14th को हुआ है, and that's nothing but an emoji. Don't do quote retweets like this. First thing, quote retweets have least reach. Unless you don't have any strong points to add on that tweet, don't quote retweet. And do retweet tweets of Naval and Variko. Oh yeah. Meena, Mitesh, do you want to
I
add
just want
anything?
to add one thing. I think we would have missed it while talking about what to tweet and how to tweet. So usually what happens is that company accounts that are not active won't respond to your tweet, and sometimes it's a drawback that no matter how big of a company you tag, they won't reply, and the algorithm is in a way where the reach just goes down. So let's say you tag a personal account. Let's say you tag a big account like Variku, where you quote him, where you quote something that he said and you tag him at the end. There are chances that he might like or he might reply to it, but in terms of company account they won't do it. So what you can do is, an alternative is, you just write that Apple has already incorporated instead of tagging Apple and then writing it. Okay. And another thing about tagging accounts is that when you tag a particular account, what happens is, let's say as soon as your opening tweet is at your tweet is starting with you mentioning someone, it goes into their reply section, because the format of the replies and tweets is in that way. So in case you want to tag someone in the initial of what they say initially in your tweet, you put a full stop or you write a different word and then tag it, or you put a symbol or something like that, so that it's a word and then a tagged account, and not a tagged account first, because that goes into the replies. If that makes sense. Oh, she just left.
Yep, makes sense. Um, and कुछ you were saying something?
No, I was just saying, how much more time are you guys having? Because I'm not sure what
Yeah,
your
yeah, we are also
availability looks
tired
like.
too. It's okay, don't worry. We're closing it off.
Yep, I think. Yep, I think we are just wrapping up. Last profile हो गई. उर्वशी कुछ बोल रही है. I think we can just later complete. I think Urvashi is not speaking. Okay. Then we can wrap it up. Urvashi, Meena.
I'll just wrap it up. Okay, Urvashi, do you want to add something or say something? उसके बाद I'll just wrap.
I just wanted to say that if you're a newbie and if you want to know Twitter कैसे काम करता है, you can check out my ebook. Anmol, where
अरे
can I
यार.
download the ebook?
I was actually looking at your profile for the ebook link. पहले bio में था ना?
Oh, I'm bio में था, but yeah, there are some
हाँ हाँ
very
हाँ.
happening with the link in bio tool that I was using. So I'll share the link with you. You can just drop it
Yes,
in the server.
yes.
Okay, then I think we'll just wrap up and I'll just sum up everything that we said in the entire session. Starting with your profile, make sure your profile is recognizable. Do not change it every now and then. Your banner should include, it should tell about what you stand for or what the audience is here for and what they'll get. There should be a CTA in your bio, including keywords in whatever niche you are in. Make sure you optimize the location and the link tag in your bio section. Make sure you have a pin tweet. Pin tweet can be anything, whatever you feel like. It can be your most liked tweet, it can be your most valuable tweet or tweet slash thread, and it can be something that might get you work. So you can do that. As a beginner, make sure you're tweeting somewhere around 2 to 3 times, and you're focusing more on engagement. As in when you grow, when you're up to somewhere around, let's say, 5 to 10k followers or something like that, you can reduce tweeting, which can go down to 2 is the minimum. Please don't go below that. And you can lower the engagement side as well, because by then you will have an audience that's already prepared. Make sure you use lists, spaces, because these two spaces get you organic reach. Lists is something that is really helpful in terms of engagement and being aware of the content, how to create content and all that stuff. Make sure you're consuming a lot of content. Please read a lot of books. Please read a lot of articles and all that stuff, so that way you can get content. You can educate your audience. You can talk about the pros cons of any particular topic and all that stuff. So that's how you come up with content. Anything else that I'm missing? Make sure your username and DP is the same everywhere, so that it's easier for people to recognize. And make sure your username doesn't have a lot of numbers or weird symbols, because end of the day it's very difficult to search up. And do not slide into anybody's DM on a random basis of hi, how are you. Make sure you provide the proper context, and please do not start the DM with hi, I am dash, because we can already see your name in the username and all that stuff. Let's say you do have a different name in your username and your real name is different, and you want to introduce yourself from a different your real name. That is okay, that's an exception. But yeah, and please do not cross somebody's boundaries in DMs or in anything. There's always a mute option if you don't like somebody's content or anything as such. And I think I'm done.
Mitesh and Urvashi, do you have anything else to add?
I think no, fairly mostly covered most points, and yeah, I think profile reviews करने के बाद भी you have get some context कि, what to tweet and how to tweet, even by learning from other profiles. Baki, if you still have any doubts and you want, let's say, specific recommendation of profile, you can always reach out to us on Twitter. Meena and Urvashi, why don't you drop your Twitter there, and maybe उन्हें drop करता हूँ, and probably we can do a Twitter space or someday, or maybe one more session on market up if we want. So yeah, with that, thanks guys for still hanging around, and people who just, yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you start your Twitter account and become active and build your personal brand. And if you do, just let us know by DMing us or joining the spaces. Yeah, have a nice day. Good night. Good night, Anmol.
Good night. Yes, thank you for joining in, guys, and thank you to the speakers for taking time. and being here helping you guys out. Would love to see what you guys do in the future, and feel free to reach them out in the DMs just the way they said. Reach out and they'll be happy to help, I'm very sure. And yeah, that's it from our side for today, and we'll see you again in some next session.
Yep.
Yep, Makita Bope.
Perfect. The people in the VC, you can join Hangout Zone to have a chit chat around Twitter. And yeah, let's go.